Good evening. Let's put a question box up. Valos coach answers question. Can I put in brackets when I can? I am teaching yoga. Had a very successful, busy day. You guys see I'm recording this for a class as well. Might be a little bit annoying that if it's too big. Put it over here. Whoops. So this is going to be a yoga class. I'm taking my contact lens out so I can't see. It's going to be a yoga class for regulating the nervous system after a busy, stressful day. We're going to finish with some relaxation breath work for the nervous system to get us out of fight-flight responses. If you've been shallow breathing, if your posture's been rubbish most of the day, this is going to help with that. We're going to stretch tight areas in the back here, lower back, between the shoulder blades, neck. So if you feel like you've been doing a lot of that, I feel very tight in those areas. And my hip flexors, we're going to be getting into that, calf stretches. So we just want to take our body through deep breath work, tension release yoga. Ideally you'll need 2 blocks. And I am going to be teaching the class as well as I do this. So if you've got any questions, I'll get to you when I can. Last time the class cut out because my memory was low, so I've deleted a load of videos. And I've got a nice warming cup of tea, decaf cup. If you wanted to join me with a herbal tea, more than welcome. So I'm going to introduce the class on the video that I've set up. This is where I've got 2 phones so I can do this. Hello, my name's Leanne. Had a wonderful day today. So I've set the scene. I'm just going to make sure you can see that on the video. Is that recording yet? I'm 3 minutes in. Good. Okay. Let's begin. Good evening, welcome to this yoga class. My name's Leanne, I'm your yoga teacher, and I'm going to take you through a variety of stretches today that are going to help improve your posture, release tension, regulate your nervous system, and get you out of any stress responses, any fight, flight. We're going to do lots of deep breath work, and we're going to finish with some pranayama and some sound bath, like I'll cut this bit out because I fuck up all the time, by the way, thank God for editing skills. What else was I going to say? Oh yeah. So I've got a nice warming cup of tea. Feel free to pause this and set your environment. So you can see I've got a nice aromatherapy candle in the background, and I've got warming decaf tea, but you can feel free to get herbal tea as well. This is for reducing the risk of sciatica. It may even get rid of sciatica if you've currently got it. Motion is lotion. We're doing some gentle positions, like gentle relaxation poses, asana, to promote sleep and good quality of sleep as well. So hopefully I'll sleep well as well. And let's begin. So you're going to need 2 blocks to start. If you've not got blocks, you can use books, you can use a bolster, you can use a cushion. So we're going to take an easy seat in the upright position. Thank God for editing skills, guys. Morning, guys. Morning, evening. I'm in Scotland. Okay. So we're going to take the blocks. So you feel free to sit down into lotus pose or just an easy seat that you feel comfortable with. I'm going to sit on my block. It's a little bit tight this evening. So we're just going to take some deep breaths. Get us out any, like if we're thinking about how today's went, how stressful it's been, or how whatever you've got on with today, let's leave it outside of the room. We're just going to concentrate right now with our body. This is a time for you with your body and to bring you back to the present. Deep breath in, pause, and a slow exhale. Now, to promote relaxation, I really want you to fill the lungs on the inhale. So this is how we're going to breathe throughout the whole yoga, apart from when we're in challenging poses like triangle pose, Trikonasana. So during the first part of it, I will say take deep breaths. So inhale, you bring the air all the way down to your belly should rise, and then with your rib cage should expand and your chest should rise in those 3 stages. So 1, 2, 3. Pause with full lungs before a slow exhale. Now if you struggle with a slow exhale, because that's a really important calming component of pranayama, breath work, create a little bit of a restriction in the back of your throat. You know, like when you blow in a mirror, steam in a window or whatever, so you can draw on it. Like that you've got a little bit of restriction with your tongue. You're using your tongue to slow the breath down further. So deep breath in. Pause. The slower you exhale, the more relaxation that you're going to give yourself. It's like a switch. It's one of the first signals and easiest, quickest ways to relax yourself. So we're going to start with 3 of those. Feel free to raise your arms, but if you don't want to do that straight away, we're going to take 5 breaths and then do the arm raises. So inhale. Sitting tall. Another 4 like that. Take your time, slow and soft. 2 more. Maybe your intention setting right now, what you want to get out of the class. 1 more deep breath in. And how you want to feel after. Personally, I want to feel calm, relaxed, ready for bed. I want to feel stretched out. I've been feeling very hunched over, and you know, the kids are off school, so I'm looking for a lot of chest openers to do. So again, on the inhale, we're going to rise our arms for a big stretch and fall. Coming down the same rate as our arms, nice and slow. Leaning in forward as your arms go back. Again. Another 3 like that. I love to close my eyes as well. I really feel like I can concentrate on my breath that way, and it distances myself from the environment or whatever issues. Not that I've been through issues today, by the way, any stresses. Last one. Notice how your body feels when you do that. I felt a bit of tightness between my shoulder blades there. So on the next inhale, we're going to sit tall. And on the next exhale, we're going to walk our hands gently forward for a lower back stretch. My goodness, do I feel tight there. Just going to hold that. Just go as far as what you feel comfortable with just now. Deep breaths. Belly rises, and exhale, you feel free to move in a little bit further. I was quite shocked when I felt tight there. You might feel this in the sides of your hips, your glutes as well. And make sure you lead with the belly and the chest, not the neck, so your neck's not getting pushed down, okay? Bending at the elbows. And we're going to counteract that Next inhale, moving back to centre, sitting tall, like you've got an imaginary golden piece of string that's pulling the top of your crown and elongating your spine. Arms round the back. This is a nice little chest opener. So chest proud, neck has tension, you're not letting it flop back, so you can give yourself whiplash, we don't want that. You've got a small bend in the elbows. Pushing your heart to the sky. Good. Next inhale, come back to centre. We're going to swap. If you sat like this, let's swap over your ankles so we can get a stretch in evenly. Before we begin, feel free to grab a drink of your cup of tea, whatever you've got, soothing to you. Heat and warmth, excuse me, is a really good way to soothe and to calm you down. Deep breath in. Let's see how our body feels this time as we walk out with our hands on the exhale. A lot better. Bending at the elbows, not so much the neck. Your bum either stays on the floor or on the block. If you can walk it out a little bit more whilst keeping your hips down, that's good. Nice gentle back stretch. Again, carefully walk your arms in, deep breath in. Let's come round to the other side. Again, don't let your neck come all the way down, chest proud. You might feel a gentle stretch on the chest area, front of your shoulders. And if you feel up to it, you can squeeze your bum cheeks and lift your hips off the ground or off the block, bringing warmth to the bum cheeks and lower back area. Good. Next, we're going to stretch out laterally, so our sides. So I'm going to place our left hand over to one side. Inhale, arm rises on the other side. Hips push down into the ground, and you can look at your arm as it's over your head. Try and get that arm back. So you're creating space between the rib and the hip here. You're stretching the lats as well underneath the armpit, which can assist in rounding your shoulders. I'm going to do that again. Over to the other side though. Inhale and exhale as you bend. Looking at that arm over your head. Breathe. Knee and hip down into the ground. Sorry, I've got a very itchy face. If you're wondering why I keep touching my face and my nose. Again, inhale, arm rises over to the other side. Really push into it a little bit further if it feels good and it feels like a nice stretch that you've just got out of bed. And then once more over the other side. Grateful to move and stretch our body. Hips both down on the ground or the block. Excellent. Now we're going to start mobility work and a gentle warm up. Let's check the comments. Oh, see if there's any wee fannies. I feel really stiff in my hips. Hi guys. Just teaching yoga. Okay. Yeah, I definitely want to stretch out my hips and my foam roller. I've got like an intense leg session tomorrow, like HIIT cardio, so I need to foam roll my fascia. I'm not that ticklish in my feet. I do like a massage though. I get massaged anywhere. Right. Not that that was an invite, by the way. Okay, nice and gentle. I'm going to go into a cat-cow. So when you're on all fours, palms directly under the shoulders. Now, if your wrists are a little bit achy after a while, move them forward. See if that helps, so you're not pinching any nerves. And if that's still too intense, come into a fist. You can also shake them out as well and mobilise them and stretch them throughout. So knees directly under the hips. We're going to pull our spine to ceiling into the cat. Rocking gently forwards and backwards. Spinal articulation, having space between each vertebrae. Then inhale. Doing the opposite, pulling the core down to the ground and looking up with our neck. Notice any tight, stretchy areas that are getting stretched just now. So I feel my core as I'm pulling my belly into the ground. Again, exhale, rocking forwards and backwards. How does it feel? I'm preferring cat today. I usually do though, to be honest, but some people, I'm preferring cow today. Some people prefer cat. Just go with whatever and linger into whichever pose you're preferring today. Back into cat to counteract. Sending signals to our body and our brain, therefore our brain, through the vagus nerve, that we're safe and it's time to relax. And we're going to come side to side with our hips, opening space in the lateral side, looking at our leg on either side. We can even lean in as well into that side. Work with the stretch. So when I lean in, I feel it more into my abs. And if you feel like you want to yawn, feel free. It's a good sign. Even faking a yawn, getting that oxygen in. And then as we are moving into a left and a right, like a semicircle with our hips, why not come all the way down to child's pose and back up. Child's pose, and we're in a cow. Change direction. If that feels good, I feel like it's getting right into the hip flexors and lower abs. If you don't feel anything, that's fine. It just means that you're not tight there. Still important to do it. And then one of my favourite to decompress, feet come together, knees apart, as wide as what feels comfortable, into child's pose. So this decompresses the spine. You can bend at the elbows as well. So this is a lat stretch, a tricep stretch, like the back of the arm. Upper back stretch, lengthens the spine, it pulls it in a gentle way. Deep breaths. We're going to stay here for 10 breaths. If you're tight here, it's a bit of a chest opener as well. Another 8. Trying to body scan and look for any areas that are tense and relaxing with an exhale. 7. 5 left. One more. Good. Bringing those knees back. Then feel free to grab a drink. My hair's tickling my face. That felt good. Felt good here. Hello guys. There's a lot of thirsty people. We'll just block that wee fanny. Hey guys, teaching a yoga class here. Like and subscribe if you're wanting to see more health and fitness. I'm a holistic coach, so I'll do strength training and everything as well. HIIT training tomorrow. Okay. From here, next we're going to go into one of my favourites for like a chest opener, and it's going to stretch all the upper back. It's amazing. It's the thread the needle pose. So we're going to come into all fours again. And you're going to, you can bend at this elbow, but you're going to thread the needle through that gap and hold. And notice how that feels. Now you can tuck this arm in your back pocket as well. Deep breaths, and you can lean over to this side with your body. I'm going to stay here for 10 breaths. And just, this one, I've not done this enough lately. When I say deep breathe, you're expanding those ribs, which will bring it out with the stretch slightly, but then the next exhale moves you into it more and relaxes those muscles. 7. And 5 breaths. Two more. I'm going to feel it lengthening around the tail. It's beautiful. When you're ready, the next inhale, carefully make your way up on all fours. Notice the stretch as it dissipates, that sensation from your body. You can bring in a gentle cat and cow until you mobilise again. But you can just hold the tabletop position. So valuable, that stretch. So grateful that I found it. Now we're going to go over to the other side. Now that stretch sensation's gone. So again, bend at this elbow, thread the needle, just move my leg and hair. So I'll place my head on the side first, and I tuck my arm in the back pocket, and to stop my chest from caving in, I place my other arm underneath my elbow, shoulder. Now this side is extremely tight and it's almost going into a spasm, so I'm just going to massage that with my knuckles. I'm going to take a deep breath in. That helps, but I've noticed that I've not gone straight into the shoulder just yet, as it eases off with breath. Seems to be easing off now, so I'm going to move. See how important these stretches are. That's completely eased off there. Wow. Now I'm going to start leaning over towards the back. My tea's definitely cold at this point. Never mind. these are the areas, if you feel like anything's spasming on super tight or close to spasm like that was, these are the areas that tense up when you're stressed. I'm really onto that when my toddler's in bed with me and I'm trying to get her to sleep, and these areas are just super tense. I'm almost arching my back off the bed. I have to remind myself to relax. Another 5 breaths. Two more. Good. When you're ready, bring your arm down. Careful, take your time. There's no rush. See how that feels. Wait for the stretch to melt away, that sensation from our bodies. You can bring in a gentle movement to remobilise. So move on to the next stretch. Well, I was very close to going into spasm there. That was really important that I did that. So I'm going to put a log on the fire. Next we're going to be doing more of a chest opener with the blocks. This is going to leave the room all soon. Still feeling that stretch along here. Feels really good. Whilst we're in all fours, next we're going to come into a downward dog. To stretch out the calves, just going to hold that. Don't worry if you can't get your heels on the ground. It's fine, you can have a bend in the knees. I want you to untuck your pelvis and push it up to the sky so you feel a high hamstring stretch. Breathe. You can paddle out those heels. You can play around with the bend in the knee as you do. This is reducing the risk of plantar fasciitis, tight calves. You know, if you do a lot of jumping, a lot of hill walking, a lot of walking in general. Give them a bit of love. Good, back down. Next, we're going to get the block. I remember the first time I went into a downward dog, I remember thinking this is awful and so hard. But the more you do it, honestly, it's not doesn't become a thing anymore. So a block. Now your body's going to feed back to you where it wants you to put the block. You know, like when you're uncomfortable in bed and you're like, ooh, I need to move that pillow. That's the kind of sensation you're looking for. So this is a chest opener. Roughly bra height, but I like mine a lot higher to counteract my neck. Start in semi-supine position. You can come down a lot smoother than what I just did, by the way. You can bring your arms out to the side or over your head, but what you want is to not arch your back. So posterior, tilt the pelvis into the ground, so flatten your back a little bit. Obviously you're going to have a gap there, but make sure you're not overarching it, okay? Arms over your head. You're just trying to relax the body now for another 10 breaths. I'm holding my hands, but my elbows are sinking down towards the ground, and this is a chest opener. It opens your pec minor and your shoulders. Counteracts the forward folds of the neck. Forward flexion of the neck as well during the day. You can feel free to straighten the legs. I feel like I can stay here all day, and when you feel like that, it's definitely a good stretch for your body. Where do you feel the stretch? Another 5. Can help having a light weight here as well. Or holding the other block. That definitely helps. I'm really looking forward to the feedback my body gives me after this yoga class. Good. Now you can roll off carefully onto the side, or you can use your elbows to come up. So we've just stretched out the anterior. So next we're going to stretch the front of the pelvis and get into the hip flexors. So the block should be right under your sacrum, sacroiliac joint. So under your hips. Again, listen to that feedback. Arms out, legs out, arms out to the side. And you'll feel a deep stretch here, sensation. It shouldn't be painful. Remember, you can come out of these positions whenever you want. Now I know I'm tight in my abs, so deep breath in. And I feel like the tightness here. It's almost like cramping. It's crazy. You know when you get like trapped wind, it feels like that, but I know I don't have any trapped wind just now. Trying to relax with every exhale. Let your body's falling asleep. Another 8 deep breaths. Using the chest and the belly. Belly first, then chest. Shoulders down, away from ears. If anything doesn't feel right, you can massage it, see if it helps ease off the tension. I know it's not wind because I had it last week when I did this, or was it the week before? Good. When you've finished your breath and you're ready, we're going to counteract that. So we're going to come into a bit of a hip thrust, glute bridge, squeezing the bum cheeks, lifting. It's a lot easier to get out of this one. And we're going to counteract that position with Apanasana, knees in for a hug, keeping your tailbone on the ground because we have cold, we don't want to compress the spine. Come into happy baby, hands out to the ridges of your feet. You can rock side to side. Now if you rock side to side, you can really get in a deep muscle in your back called your QL and kind of like foam roll it out. Notice how it feels. So on this side it feels fine. On this side I feel like it needs massaged. I'm just going to rock mostly on my right side. Now I know my right hips are tight, and that's what we're getting into here. That feels amazing. Deep breaths. But you can keep rocking left and forward if you don't feel it in a particular area. Just make sure you're not massaging the bone, like the vertebrae on your spine. Next we're going to go into a spinal twist. So although we don't want to twist the lower part of the back, like your hip area, right? There's not much movement there. We want to like stretch out the fascia, the soft tissues. So what you're going to do is push your hips over to one side, knees over to the other. Not like you should, and you might, depending on how stiff you are or tight. Feel a stretch here. It might be here, it might be all in your glute. But the important thing is that your shoulder is down on the mat, arm out to the side. And then you can only progress this if your shoulder stays pushed into the ground. So you can have a block between your knees, under your knees, if you need to. Now as I hook my hand over my leg underneath my knee, hope that makes sense, I feel a glute stretch as well. It might be the same for you if you tighten your glutes. Now our glutes can tense up, our lower back can, our shoulders can. So make sure you're going through the body scanning for any muscles that are fired up and just relax them with an exhale. Nine more deep breaths. Again, another chest opener as well. Twists are really good for sending signals via the vagus nerve to get you nice and calm and relaxed. Another 5. My shoulders seem to tense up sometimes, so that's where I keep stressing. Stress and stress. They tense up. So I'm just relaxing them. Like your body's becoming a dead weight, just falling asleep. When you're ready, on the next inhale, bending at both knees, using the weight off your knees to come back into semi-supine. Carefully take your time, and you're waiting for that stretch sensation to dissipate and melt away. You can bring in a gentle rock. It gives you a moment to appreciate the stretch as well that you've just felt. You're building those positive relationships with stretch sensations and tightness, letting go of that tension in the body. Remember, soft and slow. It's nice and relaxed, there's no rush. And now we're going to move our hips over to the left, knees over to the right, pushing that shoulder blade into the ground. Ah, this is a nice one. I feel like I want to, you know when you just get out of bed. You can see I'm dead chilled. The only thing that would make this better if I was in front of the fire. But this is okay too, because I can smell my candle. Notice where you feel this stretch. This one at the moment's more in my hips and the side. When you're ready, you can grab that leg. Now the other side, I would feel this in my glute now. Only slightly do I feel this in my glute. Ideally, both hips would be stacked. So have a look at what they're doing. 10 breaths. Deep breaths. So again, expanding the belly and the ribs, which will bring you out of the stretch, but then the next exhale should bring you further into it. You can hear the heavy rain outside. Struggling to concentrate. Know that you're doing the right thing right now, and it's a practice. And every time your mind wanders on your to-do list or anything that's happened during the day, bring it back to the breath, the anchor of the mind. Notice how it feels going into the body, and the warmth on the exhale. How your muscles feel, where you're tight. Another 2. When you're ready, bending both knees. Got a couple of more stretches left, that are important ones, before we begin the pranayama. I'm going to roll onto your side and make your way into the Sphinx position. I'm so chilled. Oh, thanks babe for coming on. There is now some weirdos on YouTube. Weirdos. Thanks for coming on, Scott. I don't know what Chris is trying to say, absolutely funny. Okay, next we're going to make our way over to the Sphinx. Is nice and gentle. I prefer this rather than the Cobra. It's less intense, it's easier to hold for longer periods. Elbows are directly under your shoulder. Squeezing your bum cheeks and pushing your hips into the ground and elevating your shoulders. And you can look up to the sky. We're stretching our hip flexors and core, our abdominal muscles, in particular our TVA, the deepest, and rectus abdominis. And then if you move left and right, your hips stay still, but your core, you're stretching your obliques. So that gets right into the front of my hip, and I can feel that more on my hip flexors. If you don't like that, if you don't need it, feel free just to stay here, squeezing your bum cheeks and pushing them into the ground, feeling that stretch on the base of your back. You can also use the blocks and push your elbows underneath them. I'm just going to lean on this left side to open up my right hip. And if you want to increase the stretch, feel it a little bit more, you can go into Cobra or you can elevate your Sphinx. When you're ready, we're going to counteract that back into child's pose. Knees together so we get a better bend in the lower back. Bum to heels. Deep breaths. Good. Next we're going to take an easy seat. I'm going to do one of the most important stretches. So in everyday life, we tend to get tight here, here, weak, if you didn't hear me there, on the back of the neck, but tight here as well. Gone too high there. Don't recommend sitting on 2 blocks, by the way. So we're going to stretch off the neck. So we do a lot of this. So we're going to sit tall, shoulders down away from ears and back, okay? Take a deep breath. We're going to bring our head over to one side. Now make sure you're not leaning your head forward. We don't need any more of that. Lean a little bit back, but in the centre of your shoulder, if that makes sense. And you're opening up and you should be feeling the stretch sensation here. It's kind of like you're getting ready for a vampire to bite your neck. And you can rock gently forwards and backwards, but remember what I said about the forward, so this is slightly forward. And you might feel this all the way down your back. Now if you have any, like if you're really tight in these areas, you can do something called nerve flossing, which I've done this with people who've had car accidents and have got very weak and a lot of tension held around this area. So try it at your own risk as always. But arm out to one side, fingers pointing up to the sky as much as you can. Bring in a gentle deep breath and with a pulse. If that feels okay, increase the range of movement with control, and you'll feel more weight added to the neck and the traps, the upper trap area. Breathe. Good. And then we're going to come back to centre. Hopefully you might feel a little bit different there. Hopefully more stretched out or relaxed and released. We'll go over to the side. Let's get ready for the vampire. This can help alleviate headaches as well. It's a good idea as well to see on video or a picture is like, can you get your neck down on one side as much as the other? Bringing a gentle backwards and forwards if it feels good. Just looking for any tension. If you feel like you need to stretch your neck further back, because it feels good here for me rather than on my side, so I'm going to listen to the feedback I'm getting. Breathe. And then when you're ready, nerve floss. Let's test the waters, see how you are. Now if you have been through like a car accident and you've had like a caster on your neck, etc. Is it called a cast? What do you call them? A neck brace, sorry. If you've had one of them on, this could be really intense, and you should only do it a little bit and then see how, like if it exacerbates any headaches, migraines, tightness, stiffness, you know, and go from there. You can comment if you've got any questions. See how you've got to be really careful with the neck. I'm feeling this all the way down. So with your arm, the idea is to you're adding weight by using the limb as it's extended away from your body. You're looking for about 10. And carefully coming back up. Excellent. So now we're going to do a bit of a sound bath. Well, I say sound bath. I'm going to use my sound bowl as I take you through some pranayama. So pranayama is breath work, yogic breathing, and as I've spoken to you through this, I've demonstrated what kind of breath, what yogic breath is. Now if you're a total beginner and it feels a bit overwhelming to concentrate on all stages of breath work, that's absolutely fine. Just breathe like normal. You can just use this as peace and quiet, just to, although I'm speaking, but anywho. I definitely feel a lot more lengthened and elongated in the cervical area, which is really beautiful. So we're going to do alternate nostril breathing, which is the masculine and feminine sides of the brain, the left and the right side, getting oxygenation and promotes relaxation and sleep quality. And because there's breath retention, which means a pause as you're swapping nostrils over, I'll show you in a second, it's really good for slowing down the exhale and helps with anxiety and depression, and it helps with endorphins as well, endorphin release. So just a reminder, yogic breath work. You inhale, you're sending the oxygen all the way down to your belly should rise. Then with your rib cage should expand like there's a balloon inside, and then your chest rises. So those are the 3 stages, 3, 2, 1. And then on the exhale, your chest will fall, your rib cage will go back in, and your belly will empty. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So you can practice that if you like. Because you're concentrating on that, you're not concentrating on what happened today, the stresses and stuff you've got to do tomorrow, okay? So you're welcome to just practice basic yogic breath work, or you can grab these 2 fingers. Sorry, it's the right hand, your thumb and your ring finger, and you're going to use these to close over your left and your right nostril. So we'll close over the right nostril with your thumb and fully exhale from the left. Inhale through the left, close it over, open with the right, inhale through the right, close it over with your thumb, remove your ring finger, exhale through the left, inhale through the left, Close it over, open with the thumb, breathe out with the right. Inhale through the right.